Floods are the most common and expensive natural disaster in the U.S. And just because the water recedes doesn't mean the effects of the flooding are gone.
Channel 5's Taylor Winkle spoke to an insurance agent about what you should know before you buy flood insurance.
In June, many who we spoke to were surprised to find their homeowner's insurance policy wouldn't cover flood damage and they needed an additional separate policy. Insurance agents reminding us today, if you choose to buy flood insurance right now, it doesn't kick in for another 30 days. Hurricane season doesn't end until November 30th. With sandbags still stacked by the door of her Fayetteville home.
If I knew it would be a flooded zone, then I wouldn't have bought here.
Yolanda Perez is just one of many frustrated with what seems like an imminent threat of flooding waters, even with insurance.
We don't know what's going to cover, what it's going to cover, then where we're going to go, if it's okay for us to stay here, if it's not okay. You know, the expenses we have to still come up with if we don't have them.
Your homeowner's policy does not cover flood insurance.
Insurance agent Aziz Showery says if water comes into your home from ground level, it's considered flood and won't be covered.
You don't want to have to pay $50,000 to $100,000 to replace your interior of your home because you didn't pay $300 for a flood policy.
If there's a hurricane and rains build up into a lake around your house and that water seeps through the door cracks, you're not covered. Showery says many don't buy flood insurance because they think they're not in a flood zone. Hidalgo County says everyone lives in a flood zone. With 70 days of official hurricane season left on the calendar and what we saw last week, Showery says now is the time to seriously consider.
Make sure that you ask your insurance agent, is my policy covering me for wind-driven rain? Do I have flood insurance? Do I have coverage if the water pipes burst and water enters my home?
FEMA was formed to provide flood insurance. They control and direct sales from approved insurance carriers who must follow their standards. If you own a home, you'll need a separate flood insurance policy. If you rent a home or an apartment, you'll need a separate policy regardless. If your landlord has their own flood insurance policy, that won't cover your belongings. While Perez is hoping
we don't have to go through this again.
Larger magnitude storms stay away. We wanted to know why homeowners' insurance policies leave out flood coverage. Showery estimates it's because insurance companies take too much of a hit. He says the most important thing for you to do if you're confused by your coverage is ask your insurance agent what covered losses are explained in the declaration page of your policy. In the studio, Taylor Winkle, Channel 5 News at 6.